Hi, welcome to Devi's Truth Finding channel. On this channel we will be discussing mainly about India and its interests. Today, we will be analyzing how Pakistan is being funded to attack India. How, all of a sudden Pakistan got courage to attack India through its proxies. Why is it so desperate to attack India? Why a failed state that couldn't sustain itself decided to attack India? And of course, it knows India will retaliate after that. It could show the world India as an aggressor, so that it could get more loans, aid and sympathy from the world. At the end of the day, it could blame India for its whims and fancies. Second, we will see how its masters like China and Deep State wanted India to break, so that these masters can capitalize from the war. And we all know that Pakistan is on verge of breaking up into 4 different countries: Baluchistan, Sindh, KPK, and Punjab. It is desperately trying to unite itself through a common enemy, that is India. Third, why is that Indian opposition all of a sudden wanted revenge and retaliation by the Indian army? Fourth, external actors like Bangladesh, Turkey, Azerbaijan, Qatar, Singapore. How is it supporting Pakistan? Fifth, how India should respond, and how is it responding? Let's break each and every point and understand how these proxies, external actors, Pakistan's master, along with Pakistan acting against India. Is a Pahalgam attack just a bait, or is it to lure India into a full-fledged war? Pakistan knows that if they attack India through proxies, Indians wouldn't sit quiet. They would actually ask the government to retaliate and take revenge. If you remember, during the Pulwama attack, Indians were really angry. Many of them demanded the government to take revenge on Pakistan. In a similar fashion, Pakistan thought it would be attacked by the Indian army, so that they can start using the victim card, which they are very good at, so that they can distract their own citizens from high inflation, unemployment, internal attacks by TTP, Baluchistan Liberation Army, people from Pak-occupied Kashmir and Sindh attacking the army. Now look at these videos. How Baluchistan army attacking Pakistani army. Kashmir and Sindh attacking the army. Imran Khan's arrest. So, they thought of actually bringing all citizens on one common point. That is, India. So, do you really think a country like Pakistan, which doesn't have proper food or water or money, they beg wherever they go, a country like Pakistan got guts to attack India? Absolutely not. However, there is a strong reason behind this attack. Yes, Pakistan will definitely benefit. It's not always the population which get the benefits. It's actually the army, the government who are ruling these people. They would take all the money, and you all know that these people from the army and the government live lavish lives in London, US, and Canada. They're least concerned about their population. And do you really think they care about Kashmiris? See, there's a shocking news from Pakistan that former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been actually violated in the prison. So, if a former Prime Minister doesn't have proper security, do you really think they would actually care about its citizens and Kashmiris? Of course not. And in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, the army actually started building bunkers in the middle of the houses, so that it can show to the world that India is actually killing its civilians. If you remember, when Pakistan had floods, Turkey actually sent an aid. Down the line, what exactly happened? There was an earthquake which hit Turkey. Pakistan used the same aid supplies that it actually received from Turkey, sent the same aid, just changing their name on those aid supplies. Middle-class people normally do this when we receive from our friends or relatives. If we do not like the gifts, we remove the name and add our names on those gifts and give it to others. Pakistan followed the same. If you notice, only Hindu men were killed, not women, in Pahalgam. If it was a radical Islamic terrorist, they wouldn't have even spared women or children, and we all know what exactly happened to Kashmiri Pandits. Women and children killed and literally chopped into 2. So, do you really think these radical Islamic terrorists would actually give a damn? Absolutely not. So, this is a clear organized military operation, funded and supported by China. Now coming to the next important point. Why Pakistan has attacked India and who's behind it? Obviously, it is China, and I'll give you my reasons. Not just giving you the random points, but instead well-researched points. Alright, so this is the Patrick David's video. I'll leave the link below and you can actually watch the video. It's about how India's trade deal with US threatens China. Watch this video.
How many of them? Did you hear about what Apple just announced? The 60 million iPhones that they make per year that's being moved to India. You think they like that? Don't you see now that China's poking the bear with India and Pakistan trying to instigate the proxy stuff? Why do you think they're doing it? They're so...
If you've noticed, Pakistan has attacked on the same day of the visit of US Vice President J.D. Vance. It's because Apple was trying to completely move out of China to India. Not only Apple, but there are other companies which are moving out of China. Remember, China is the export-driven economy and India is consumption-based economy. More than 60% of the goods which are produced in India are consumed within its borders. Unlike China, it is wholly and solely dependent on exports. However, it is threatened that if these companies move out of China, then India will become a manufacturing hub and superpower in the next few decades. So, they wanted to show the US and the world that India is not safe for its investments. And Chinese economy is not moving forward. Its manufacturing sector is all the time low. Its stock market is in shambles. And its products which are being manufactured are piling up in its godowns. No one is actually buying these products. And on top of that, USA has actually imposed tariffs 145% on Chinese imports. Not only that, US has actually imposed tariffs on Vietnam, Thailand, Myanmar, Cambodia, etc. Why? Because the Chinese goods will be dumped into these countries, and will be rebranded and will be dumped into other countries, especially US. So being that reason, USA has cleverly imposed tariffs on these countries as well. Now tell me, do you think China doesn't have any share in Pahalgam attack? Alright, so let's look at the other points. China not only supporting Pakistan openly, militarily, technical support, and also exporting its weapons to Pakistan. We all know that China using its veto power in UNSC blocked India's request to declare certain terrorists of Pakistan very recently. The same China actually has sent missiles, drones, aircrafts, ammunitions, guns, all the technical support which was needed to Pakistan. Because these aircrafts and missiles are not actually used in the combat yet. They wanted Pakistan to test against India. If this works, then it can actually advertise in the world market that their weapons, aircrafts and drones are actually better in quality and are cheaply available so that it can flood the world market. Of course it did not go according to Chinese and the deep state plan. And once again it proved that Chinese products do not have a guarantee. Footage of Chinese defense system failed. What appears to be an unknown missile as of now has crash landed. If you remember, the acting Prime Minister of Bangladesh, who was appointed by the deep state agents and was responsible for the former Prime Minister's exile. He is one of the deep state agents. Mentioned with the Chinese that 7 sisters of India do not have access to Bay of Bengal. It's only through Bangladesh which can access Bay of Bengal. Declared itself as the gateway of Bay of Bengal. He is funded by the deep state agents. Deep state agents are those institutions or people involved or media houses like Al Jazeera, BBC, countries involved like China, Canada, and people like George Soros who is a brainchild of deep state. However, there are other Islamic countries funding like Qatar, Turkey, Malaysia. These countries fund deep state so that they actually topple the governments all across the world. Are actually earning billions of dollars. In Ukraine-Russian war, so on are similar lines. They invest into these deep state actors so that they benefit out of these wars. Best example Khalistani terrorists, farmers' protests, anti-CAA protests, propaganda against India and many more. And the Chinese involvement in India is sort of different. Because it doesn't want India to grow. It knows if India rises again, then it cannot stop India's growth. And being that reason, it follows wolf warrior diplomacy. Not attacking directly, instead, instigating its proxies like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Maldives. Not sure if China joins Indo-Pak war, but if an all-out war happens, China will try to step in from Aksai Chin area, Sikkim, and Arunachal Pradesh. Of course, the great backstabbers of the century, the Bangladeshis, will also step in. As one of their majors said, if India attacks Pakistan, then Bangladesh would come to its rescue and cut off Seven Sisters area from India. And also, when I was making this video, I actually remembered there is a company called BlackRock. It's actually bigger than many countries combined. Has estimated more than $11.5 trillion of assets being managed in 2025. They actually have invested billions of dollars in China, so I don't think these big companies want China to fail. Of course, China has its puppets all over the world. From US, UK, Canada, to Singapore. Do you think India will be left out? Absolutely not. We have Chinese stooges in India who always come to rescue of Pakistan and China. These people will and can go against India. That's why you see these Woke liberals and secularists who always try and defend Pakistan and China. And in fact, if you've noticed, they have even sidelined the killings of Hindus in Pahalgam attack and started saving those terrorists. And these same terrorists are actually saved by China using veto power at UNSC. So, India is not only fighting a war with Pakistan, China, Bangladesh, Turkey, Singapore, Qatar, but also fighting with its own internal enemies. Turkey and Azerbaijan openly supported Pakistan. Turkey even sent weapons to Pakistan. Singapore is just another puppet clone of China. And, in fact, even UK has sent help to Pakistan. These are the same people who destroyed India and looted more than $45 trillion. And we all know what BBC does in India, sharing all the propaganda videos on India. Qatar, which funds Al Jazeera, manipulates the information, share those propaganda videos against India and Hindus, spews venom on India, and portrays Hindus as the aggressors and the terrorists as innocent victims. Watch this video.
You will never notice this stuff, but it's been happening for decades in the Middle East. To the people that speak English, Al Jazeera shows good news. To the people that speak Arabic, Al Jazeera shows fake news. To the English world, they say, let's remember the Holocaust and never repeat it. To the Arab world, they say, did the Holocaust really happen? To the English world, they support gay rights. To the Arab world, they suppress gay rights. It's two stories for two different audiences. And you wonder why the Middle East is full of hatred and anger. If you've ever wondered, this is part of the answer. With thousands of employees, companies like Al Jazeera can do this forever because they have unlimited money, government money that they get every year from a small Arab country. With $200 million or more, they can attack anyone or anything, including me. Media is broken because this...
Now you have all the evidence. Still, if you say that the Indian government has done this attack, then only God can save you. And what exactly India is doing and what India is supposed to do? India is following its tactics clearly. Of course, it is not going and directly attacking Pakistanis and its citizens. Whatever India is doing, our government knows the consequences that India will have to face. Taking calculated risks. Remember, India is the country which made Pakistan a beggar state. Declared it as a terrorist state, included in FTFA. Stopped water, banned YouTube channels and other social media accounts. Flooding their rivers, kicking out the illegal immigrants. Even Pakistanis are ashamed to call themselves as Pakistanis when they are in different countries. Instead they call themselves as Indians. They even open restaurants in the name of Indian restaurants. Because they know if they open a restaurant in the name of Pakistan no one will visit. Now watch this video.
Go to London, they stand in line. Okay. जब वो bouncer पूछता है ना कि आप what's your nationality? They always say we are Indians.
हाँ
हाँ
इंडियंस या ईरानी कहते हैं
एग्जैक्टली क्यों डर लगता है पाकिस्तानी कहते हुए क्योंकि लाइन से निकाल के कहेंगे घर जाओ अपने क्यों तो आपने क्या इज्जत छोड़ी है दुनिया में
आपको एक छोटी सी मिसाल देता हूँ कि पाकिस्तान जापान में जितने भी रेस्टोरेंट ओपन होते हैं उन पे लिखा जाता है कि इंडियन रेस्टोरेंट हालांकि हम पाकिस्तानी होने के बावजूद हमें लिखना पड़ता है कि इंडो रेस्टोरेंट बोला जाता है क्योंकि अगर हम उस पर लिखेंगे कि ये पाकिस्तानी रेस्टोरेंट है तो शायद हमारे पास जापानीज कस्टमर नहीं आएगा
हमारे ऐसे हैं कि कभी हम बैठते हैं कहीं जाते हैं तो हमें कोई पूछता है कि आप कहाँ से हैं तो हमें खौफ आता है कि हम ये कहते नहीं है कि हम पाकिस्तान से हैं क्योंकि हमें डर लगता है कि आगे से रिएक्शन क्या हो मुझे कहने लगे कि हम तो कभी कभी ये भी कह देते हैं कि हम इंडिया से हैं हमें पूछते हैं लोग कि आप पाकिस्तान से हैं या इंडिया से हैं तो हमें डर के मारे हम कह देते हैं इंडिया से तो वो चुप हो जाते हैं फिर बात नहीं बनती तो मतलब है ये इस किस्म का ये असर हो रहा है वहाँ हमारे जो वहाँ के पाकिस्तान के लोग जो वहाँ गए हैं
कहाँ से आप
पाकिस्तान से
कहाँ से
बिहार से
वहाँ पे कहाँ से अरे
बिहार में कई लोग फोटो खींच दी कहाँ से बिहार से कहाँ से मुंगेर डिस्ट्रिक्ट से तो नहीं हो
हाँ वही कहा पाकिस्तान से है यार आपके लहजे से
हमने आवाज से पहचान लिया भाई
आपके लहजे से समझ गया
Our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is actually responding in a tactical manner. Do you really think our government doesn't know if India attacks Pakistan? China and Bangladesh wouldn't come to its rescue. Even India is under pressure to respond. However, they are waiting for the right time and right strategy. Remember when Indira Gandhi asked Manik Shah to attack Pakistan during the 1971 war? Manik Shah directly refused and asked Indira Gandhi to wait for a couple of months. And you all know what happened after that. So, our government has given free hand to Indian army. Pakistan is in similar situation like it was in 1971. It is going to deliver Baluchistan first. But prior to that it will definitely instigate Indian army and government again. But Indian government knows this is a clear trap and Indian government will not walk into this well-laid trap, that's for sure. Pakistan is running like a mad dog now. India will attack strategically and responsibly. And our opposition woke up and all of a sudden it wanted revenge on Pakistan. But new narrative has been circling in the media by our liberals, seculars, communists, opposition. All of a sudden want to de-escalate the situation, behaving as if India has started this war. Understand this. Try and connect all these dots. Do you all know where India is losing? It's the social media war, technological war, R&D war, data war. Our data is simply available on dark web for a few dollars. Language war, recent example of Sonu Nigam's apology. Bangladesh and Pakistan publishing their videos as India's and on all social media platforms and start their propaganda. Look at this video of a foreign woman literally eating cow dung. Chinese eat all sorts of things, but that's perfectly alright, but the propaganda and hate towards India is so much so that they made it look like Indians eat cow dung.
挺快的，甚至挺香的，就是草的味道。什么味道？它里面都有什么呢？牛肉、香菜，这个是啥？青菜吧？不是，我感觉不是。还有一些东西，就说不好是啥，肠子吧，这应该是内脏嘛，长得有点像肉块的脆爱。
锅汤来，
颜色有一点深绿，就橄榄绿，我感觉。好喝啊！啊？
你是重口味王呀？
我感觉挺好喝的。
真的？
真的好喝。
牛瘪火锅泡饭。
嗯，对，再加点牛肉，不然没有硬菜没意思。测一点汤。哇，好香！再搞点牛肉放上面。 搞一个牛瘪火锅盖饭，好吃。
这不是节目效果，是真的，真好吃。
这是真的，那为什么呢？对吧？为什么要假装不好吃？如果真的好吃，感觉你们来贵州一定要试试。
I am not saying everything is green at one end, but normalizing hate towards Indians is not the correct way of dealing things. There were a couple of instances where Indians being attacked in US and Canada. There should be a separate department or wing in IT ministry, which should be able to tackle all these propaganda handles. On social media, yes, Indian government is working towards that and blocked more than 8,000 accounts who were spreading fake news on Twitter. On a similar lines, government should work on those fake news peddlers on other social media handles as well. Even after doing this, it is still not enough. There should be dedicated resources and dedicated department only to handle this propaganda. There are no communists in Pakistan, no Islamists in China and no wokes in Bangladesh. But they all exist in India. Trust me, these deep state left-wing Chinese-backed regimes, institutions, media outlets and people are trying to destroy Israel and India. If Israel is lost, Europe is lost, and if India is lost, the whole world is lost. See, Narendra Modi ji is the right leader at the right time. Because he knows what to do. Just have faith in him, in our government, and in our armed forces. They're also banning YouTube channels and serials where they're being used as a propaganda tool. What India can do is they can actually support Baluchistan Liberation Army, TTP, people of Pakistan occupied Kashmir. And of course, the great unknown gunman will do the job. I understand and agree that all our emotions are running high, but also understand this is the land where Chanakya is born. Same as Porus or Purushottam who stopped the mighty Alexander's invasion. Like you all, I want my India to flourish and I'll be the most happiest person if our golden bird rises again. So just be patient, united, and support our government in all forms. I would inform you that these are purely personal views, and there is a Twitter handle called Arvind who is an expert in a geopolitical sphere. If you want more you can follow him as well. I rest my case here. Please do share your thoughts in the comments sections. Also please do like, share and subscribe this channel.